Hello, Dominic is my name. Eurovoxx here, Jess is here, and Juan from the Netherlands and from the UK. Hey, nice to see ya.
From the
Hello.
UK, I'm not from the UK anymore.
I got confused. I'm
Kano
sorry.
was through.
Oh, Kano.
So
Kano.
we're just about to get the results. So I think Thomas is out, right?
Yes.
Yes. So Thomas
Oh
is out.
no, I left
Yes,
him.
okay.
I thought it was
Kano
Kano.
is through.
Kano did it. Woo! Lucky. But I mean, deserved. We will discuss that a bit in detail afterwards, but Kano is through. And by the way, I hate the system.
Oh, who's the one with the red hair? Was it Mia?
That's Mia.
She's through. That's a bit
Yes,
of a
she's
surprise for
through.
me.
Yes, very good.
I'm so
Mia
happy.
is also in the final with the song Green Lights. A big fan of that. That was really good.
I prefer the studio version of that song though.
Fair.
I think the live version was really good as well.
Okay,
So
so,
it's
we
just
just
between-
have one more qualifier, yes.
And it's
Vida.
between Mistra, Vida, and Princess.
Exactly. What do you think? I think Princess, I hope.
Oh, Annie Princess.
I honestly think Mistra might make it.
Really?
Annie Princess.
Come on.
Princess qualified.
Yes. So
I'm very happy. So the theory was correct. The last three
finally.
performances qualified again.
Oh man. Okay.
That's
So
quite interesting.
yeah. So just to who is through? Hello, Sarah O'Halloran. Nice to see you. So who is through? Kano is through. Mia and Princess. So we can summarize. Running order spot 4, 5, and 6 are the golden spots because in every 3 semis these spots qualified. Think about it. What you like. So first reaction. Which was your favorite of these 3?
Out of these 3, it's Kano.
Kano, okay.
Yeah, Kano as well, but I also really love Mia.
I prefer her song in the studio version to the live, but she's still great.
It didn't sound like that she used autotune, did it? I don't think she used it.
I don't think a lot of them used it tonight.
No, actually true. I don't think Kano used it either, honestly. Didn't sound like they were using it, but I mean, Alexandra doesn't really need autotune. So why would she use
several
it?
times already that she can deliver that live. I mean,
yeah.
Hashtag Thunder
And tonight
Glory,
again.
yeah?
Tonight again, Jesus Christ, what a note.
Definitely. Yeah. So I think all the qualifiers are pretty good, just to be clear here. Maybe I would give the edge to Kano, but Princess was also pretty much on the same level. Personally, I really enjoyed that performance, and Mia was also great. So, what would you like to start with? Who disappointed you out of the 3? Is there any disappointments? Next to Mia, maybe you said you preferred the studio version, Jess?
Yeah, I wasn't also the biggest fan of Princess's song either. And for me, it wasn't really translating very well on stage. I wasn't loving the live performance. I was getting Armenia 2023 vibes with that platform in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't wowed by that actually, sadly.
Okay, Tron, what's your opinion on Princess?
Honestly, it was one of the songs that I hadn't really listened to or noticed, quite honestly. I listened to it once. That was when they were first announced. But then it just kind of fell through with all the other songs that I listened to. But I really enjoyed her performance tonight, and I think I'll add her song to my playlist because I really, really like it, and I think it's a really deserved qualifier, actually. Yeah.
I actually did the same, so I tried to be as neutral as possible. So I listened to the songs only once before, and Save Me wasn't on my radar, but the live performance kind of sold me. I really liked her vocals. Maybe there was a bit of autotune in it, but it wasn't obvious, which others was for others it was pretty obvious. So if you can cover it up, it's fine by me. Even though I still don't need it at Eurovision, but that's a different story. So you said just that you don't like the choreo. I actually liked it. It was cool. It was like a bit of Cirque du Soleil kind of because they were doing so much, so many things. It was maybe kind of distracting on the other side, so I can see your point.
Yeah.
Still, you can still say that and Princess was still like the focus, and it wasn't like too distracting for me. And I liked the lights, which you can tell about pretty much every performance we have seen at NGP. Like props to that. I love the stage design. Pretty much
Yeah,
every
I agree.
performance was great in
Yeah.
that regard, and it could be delivered to the big Eurovision stage. Doesn't necessarily belong to the songs, I must say, but in general, like the concept is amazing, and you should really take notes other countries. Like this is how you do it, and this is why MGP is one of my favorites. So that was I'm Princess. What about Mia? Like you said that live wasn't the best for you. I kind of disagree here. I think she was pretty strong and her vocals were on point. Um, the song might take a while, and that was
Yeah.
something I was a bit worried, and I wasn't sure if she's gonna qualify because I think the more you listen to it, the more it will get you. But maybe the effects were the deciding factor here. I think they had a great effect. Well, it was literal, like green lights. Of course, they were gonna do that, but they did it in such an aesthetic way, I think, that you weren't like on the nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really wowed by the first time that those green lasers came in. It was a stunning view. It was really, really beautiful, and that
Yes.
really lifted up the staging for me personally. I was already a fan of the song, but I think the performance was magnificent. I'm one of the people that love the song from the beginning because it's a me song. Like everything about it, I love. And I think her vocals were magnificent. As you said, the autotune wasn't noticeable if there was any. I don't think there was any, but if there was any, they did a good job hiding it. And I just think it's a really deserved qualifier. And I wouldn't mind this winning, actually. I would love to see this in Eurovision.
Hmm.
I'm very happy that we still have like another ballad because they tend to get overshadowed and lost in the semis. So I'm quite happy about it. Before we go to Kano, let's say hello to Isamanga. Hi. Let's say hi to Michael Forbes. Nice to see you. Always a pleasure. And hi, Vincent. Any surprises? Actually, no, which is a
No.
good thing in
Well,
this case. Or were you
I'm
surprised about any result?
well, for me, I mean, I'm not surprised at Kano qualifying. I'm just surprised at Mia
Duh.
and Princess qualifying. Because I was like, when I was watching the show, I was genuinely convinced that Vidar Villa and Thomas were going to qualify. I was like, these are fabulous on stage. They're coming across great. These are definitely going to qualify. And then the ones I thought maybe would struggle to qualify, qualified. So for me, there was surprises.
I mean, I partially agree with Jess. While watching Villa, I was like, yeah, he's qualifying for sure. So maybe that was a little surprise. However, I was not convinced on Thomas qualifying because I thought it was a good performance, but I just think it wasn't good enough to qualify in this semi-final. So yeah, maybe that was a little bit of a surprise. But then again,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that Princess qualified. So
first of all, I would say that every qualifier was deserved in my opinion and
Mhm.
justified. But usually when I like a song, it's in danger of not qualifying, considering the previous semifinals. So I was a bit like spectacle and I wasn't sure if I should actually say that. I preferred these three. So I'm kind of like happy and surprised about myself that I got these right. I agree with you. Like Thomas was a bit too basic. I mean, his performance was kind of impressive because of the vocals. Like these pitches and these notes are insane, I think. It was entertaining, but I mean, once you saw it, it was okay. It was fine, and I didn't need to see it again, if you know what I mean. It was fine
I just
being there, and I liked that it was adding or giving the selection another flavor and a nice addition. But I think it was fine staying in the semis for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just one of the songs that you really enjoy while listening, but for once, then it's good. After that, no more.
There's a like very nice comment about it, like Thomas should have bought the treadmills, which I thought he did for a second. In the beginning, I was like,
I
oh,
think they
here we
were
go,
runways.
Robin Bankson vibes. But then it was just like a catwalk, I think that was there.
Yeah, I think it was just like a catwalk. Yeah.
Yes, and he was striking all the poses, so good for him. But we got distracted. Like the third qualifier was one of the favorites to win. Also because it was one of the biggest acts at MGP. It was the representative from 2019 and the finalist of 2021. It's Kano with the song Dami Ding Digi Di Da. Dam Digi Da. Ha. Okay,
Yes, something like
so I wrote down 90s vibes, which is always a plus. I love it. Like the studio version was a bit high in the pitch. I'm not used to that in terms of her vocals, but the live performance was like the vocals I'm used to, which are flawless, but not too high. So I think they adapted a few things. It was a bit messy though. I was a bit confused. There was so much going on. Like there were many different effects. They split the group. Like the singer was in front of it, and the other two, like the two guys, were behind like a cube. And only when they had their moment, it was visible for them. Otherwise, the focus was just on her, which is something I get kind of way because the focus is on her. But it was a bit, I don't know, because for me, it's a band and they work very well together. And they had that at Eurovision with Spirit in the Sky because they were on stage the whole time, visible. Well, of course, they had their moments, but it was still like a group thing. And now I had the feeling that it's just her featuring the others in the background. You know what I mean? So personally, it was a bit too much focus on her, even though like she's amazing. Don't get me wrong, love her, but yeah, it's not what I expect. You get my point?
Yeah, I had exactly
Yes.
the same thoughts when I was watching
Yeah.
it. It almost felt like it was Alexandra featuring Tom and Hugo, and it
Yes.
didn't seem like they were really properly together as a band because they were
Mm.
separated for most of the performance. And I think also Alexandra does have a lot of the vocals in the song, so it seems like she's kind of a soloist with two backing singers. But despite that, all of them still gave a great performance on stage. It still came across very well on stage, and I think it was still the strongest of the semi-final. So a very well-deserved qualification.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's a given. Trying to know that you are a Kano stan.
Before I say anything else about this, I just saw some news about Iceland, and I'm so excited because guess who's back?
You tell me.
Hera Björk with a 2010 style song.
Ooh.
I'm so excited.
That
I
makes me
love
so
Je ne
happy.
sais quoi so much. So I'm
Me
really
too.
Je ne
happy that
sais
she's back
quoi.
with a Je ne sais quoi style song. Okay,
Okay,
but
love.
back to
We
Norway.
love that. Okay.
Back to Kano. I love the performance. I love the song from the start. I really like that it's very different from their other two songs and from like their whole discography even. When I first listened to it, I was like, is this Kano? Like there's this kind of feel about it, but it's not like the typical sounds that you get from them. But I really loved it. I do agree with the fact that it felt like Alessandra featuring Tom, Hugo, and Fred. And I didn't really like the dancers with the like TVs on their head. I
And
just
the
think
silver glitter lips. That was like, what
I
was
just
that?
think that looked really, really cheap, and just do away with those. They don't add anything. You can have dancers, but don't add those boxes to their head. It just doesn't look good, in my opinion. Vocals were flawless, as we are expecting of Kano. And I think this is a perfectly deserved qualifier and a potential winner for MGP. I think they might be in the top 2 of MGP.
ESC Manga is predicting them to win and then to be easily top 10. They finished like 6th, I think, in 2019, 7th.
Yeah.
Yes.
They won the televote, by the way.
Yeah.
Just saying. In front of Arcade, who was like, Arcade is my favorite song ever, but I love Kano as well, so it's fine. Michael Forbes is predicting like a final between Margaret Berger and Kano. I would be fine with that. I would be very fine with that.
I would actually not predict that because I think that Gorta, Ulfaham, is going to be high. Like, I think it will be a race between Gorta and someone else, either being Kano. I think it's going to be Kano or Margaret Berger.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on that one. I think for me, Gaita, however you say it, I think they've won MGP in my opinion.
I
think-
personally do think so as well.
Okay, we will
Is
discuss
there-
that a bit later. I think it would make sense because that was the final semi-finals, and now we know all the 9 qualifiers. But first, so Helen says that it's a perfect song for a new reality show. Maybe tell us which one do you have in mind? Maybe like Love Island, Diggy Dum? Yeah, why not? That would be fine.
Could be quite
Uh,
interesting.
Definitely. And she says that the top 3 are Oblivion, My AI, and Dum Digida. I still can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. Maybe that's also like a disadvantage, kind of. What is the song about? Because for the other 2 entrances, you had a clear mind and it had some kind of depth. And this one comes across maybe a bit like a superficial, like it's just about the feeling and the vibe you get, but not about the lyrics, I would say. Because like the song title is kind of suggesting that. I must also say that if you compare it to Spirit in the Sky and Monument, this is my least favorite by far from Kano.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that it's bad though. I still really like it, but the other ones were still on a higher level personally for me. Yeah, anything else? Because then we could go to the other 2 entrances which haven't qualified. So one of them was Vida Vila with the song Mer, which was Norwegian, first of all. And I wrote down Lake Malawi in terms of
Yes,
staging.
me too.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it
Was
does
the
remind
only
me of
one.
that.
Yes, Jess, did you like it?
I really loved this song. I loved that it was just a very fun and happy sounding song that would kind of put you in a bit of a good mood. And it did remind me a little bit of his MGP song from 2018, I think it was. And it was a great way to open the semi-final. And the staging concept they had, the visuals they had with all of the different coloured boxes and the lights around them, I thought was very clever. And it worked well with the song perfectly. And I was very sad to see this not qualify because I genuinely thought this would stand a good chance to make it to the final. But I do think his vocals were slightly weak and they weren't as strong as some of the other acts. But despite that, the overall package that he presented on stage I thought was really good and worthy of qualifying.
Yeah. Do you think being the opener hurt them or hurt their chances?
Quite possibly, and maybe the fact that the song maybe doesn't sound as modern or as radio friendly or as current as some of the other songs. Maybe some people might have thought this is a bit dated. I'm not going to vote for this. I don't know.
Yeah, possible. Tuan, what's your opinion on it?
I really agree with Jess, actually. I think this would have also been a worthy qualifier. And I do agree on the fact that his vocals were a bit messy. He sounded like he was out of breath at certain points, even in the beginning of the song. I don't know what happened, but still, I do think that the whole package was worthy of qualifying. It's personally not one of my favorites because I'm just not into these kinds of songs, but I do think that it was a solid, good performance.
Yeah, for me it was okay. It was like I wrote down like alright, but nothing special, which is basically what it is. I gave it I always rate the songs and I gave it a 5 out of 10, which kind of suits the song
It's kind of
perfectly.
mid.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't harming or giving me any reaction. It was like it's okay, it's meh, which is usually a bad reaction. But yeah, I mean, maybe they will try again. I'm pretty sure they will because they have already participated and then kind of see them returning at some point. So the last one who participated was Mistra with some Waltz of Death. I think I'm not Norwegian or speaking that language, but I think they represented Norway. Is that right?
Well, the woman who sang,
yeah,
like
in
40 years ago
1984,
or
I wrote
something
down
like
the
that.
year.
Oh, yeah.
1984. Is that possible? Because like the video was like kind of suggesting it. Yeah, it was very dramatic, wasn't it? Like, whew, the staging. I wrote down windy plastic foil. You just have plastic and you put a wind machine behind it and like lights, and that's it. And it always looks dramatic, even though it's so simple.
The staging reminded me of that one by Liamo and who was it? I can't remember. It was in Melfest some years ago. finished like second or third. I don't remember, but they also had those kind of plasticky things, and it really reminded me of that. But I loved it actually. I loved the song already. I was one of the few that loved the song actually, because I don't think many people like really love the song, but I loved the song, and I think the vocals were good. Like I think everyone's vocals today were very very good. And I would have loved it to qualify. I can see why it didn't qualify though, because it's kind of outdated. It's kind of like not a generic song that a lot of people like. So I get why it didn't qualify, but I would have personally loved it too.
Yeah, it kind of gave me like Tron vibes, to be fair, and like Tron vibes in terms of I don't like it, but you love it. Jess, what's your opinion?
I'm not the biggest fan of the song. I think the song is a little bit forgettable. And I think it was really carried by the staging tonight. The staging was the most memorable thing, and the outfits and all the makeup they had on. And I remember that more than I remember the song, which could be one reason why it didn't qualify. For me, the staging in some parts came across as maybe a bit tacky with the plastic sheets. I wasn't loving that going on, but then again, it does stick in my mind, so I guess that is a plus. But overall, it just wasn't very memorable for me. It didn't, like, the staging stood out, but not the song, and it just fell a bit flat for me. And in comparison to, for example, Gator or the Goth Minister, they were much better in this kind of genre than Words of Death. So it wasn't really for me, I'm afraid.
I see. At least it did something good, because it reminded Michael to put out the bin. Nice. You should always do that. Okay, before we go to the finalists, there was like one very good question, but it wasn't it didn't suit our discussion before that. Which of the non-qualifier you would like to bring back of Norway national final? I think like the 9 eliminated ones. Which one comes into your mind, like straight away, Jess? What do you think?
Women's show.
Why?
100%. It was such a big ball of energy on stage. It was fun. It was catchy. The song was great. The vocals were great. And it should have qualified.
Okay, but in the end it didn't. Tron?
Yes.
I would put back Farida Heartache, because that's an absolute bop, and
My
I
second
really,
choice.
really love that song. It was my winner of MGP at a certain point. It's such a summer bop. I can already see that it will be the song of the summer for this year.
Well, I agree with Pirate, because I can imagine that Milo is their favorite. Jess, what do you think? So personally, I loved it. I was very surprised it didn't qualify. The choreo was great. The vocals were great. It was very catchy. I really enjoyed it. Jess, what do you think about it?
Yeah, pretty much everything you said. It's a good, very strong song. And Milio, however you say his name.
Milo, I think the E is
Milo?
just an
Okay.
addition you don't
Just for
pronounce.
fashion.
I've noticed.
Okay. But yeah, Milo is a great artist. He had a good song, and the live performance I thought was really good.
Yeah.
But I guess ultimately, maybe it wasn't quite as competitive as it needed to be to stand out in that semi-final. And I think probably that's one of the things that held him back, sadly. But it would have been great to see him qualify.
Yeah, maybe it was the running order, because again, no one from running order 1, 2, or 3 qualified. It's a bit suspicious here. I don't know. Anyway,
Very
so
strange.
yeah, we finally have got the 9 qualifiers, and I think next week we finally know the representative of Norway. So exciting. So the finalists are like Goth Minister with We Come Alive, Ingrid Jasmine with Aya, and Margaret Berger from Oblivion from the first semifinal. Then we've got from the second semifinal My AI with Superverb and from Superverb and Erika, and then Judge Tenderly of Me from Doug Eric Oxford, trying my best, and Fagemo, as well as Ulverham from Goethe from the second semifinal, and then the one from tonight, Kano with Dam Digita, Mia with Green Lights, that's easy, and Princess with Save Me. So first thought, what's your big favorite to win this?
For me, it's Gator.
Why?
I just think that would be so epic at Eurovision. I mean, when you look at their MGP performance, that already was really striking, like visually, and it was really, there was a lot happening, but it wasn't too much and too in your face. And that was an epic performance. Imagine what they could do on a much bigger stage at Eurovision. I think, and it would be something totally different for Norway. It wouldn't be like a typical maybe pop song that they quite often have sent in previous years. It wouldn't be anything really poppy or cheesy. It would be something totally different for Norway that I think would get the attention of juries and televoters. It's the perfect combination, in my opinion.
Okay. Tuan, what's your favorite?
That's honestly, that's a difficult one because I love a lot of songs in MGP this year. But I'm going to say that my favorite is Kaino Dam Digida. Because I've just been listening to the song so much. It's been stuck in my head even during exams, which is I cannot recommend listening to Dam Digida before an exam because it will be in your head. Yeah, but I love the song, so I hope they win.
Can you use it like for benefit, like replace the lyrics for like stuff you need to learn? I don't know. It's hard, right?
No.
No, because it's so
We could try.
fast. Like, yeah, maybe it's
I was
maybe
just going dum diggy dum diggy dum diggy dum during my exam, and that's not good.
no, that's the problem here. Yeah, we just forgot to mention that it's very fast already, and it's increasing in terms of the speed. So, but by the end, it's very, very fast. So if you want to do like a spinning session, use this one. So
Didn't think about
personally,
before.
yeah, personally, it's hard. I like Oblivion. We should mention that. I like Kano. I love them, and I mean they kind of need revenge after Monument last time. I'm still not over that. And I also like Save Me. That would be fine. Not gonna lie, like my AI is an obvious televote winner, but I kind of think
Mhm.
it wouldn't be a good choice. I think it's a bit too cheap or cheesy. Um,
I mean,
and yeah,
I to a certain extent, I could see Norway going for this, just because, as you mentioned, it does have televote appeal, and the
hmm
Eurovision semi-finals are televote only. So
yeah,
I think if they sent this, they would probably be guaranteed qualification and a possible top 10 with the televote in the final. So it could be a similar situation to Subwoofer back in
yes.
2022. So for that reason, maybe they might go for this one.
I was just about to mention like
I mean,
subwoofers and also like ticks. It would be like kind of
Hmm.
going in
when
this
it comes
direction again.
to my AI, I'm just wondering how they're going to do it on the Eurovision stage because obviously Super Rob's vocals are auto-tuned, like fully auto-tuned,
Hmm.
and my concern also is that Erika Norwich's vocals in the semi-final weren't the best,
They
even
were
with
pretty weak, I
auto-tune.
think.
Yeah, I don't want to be too harsh, but they were not the best, and I'm just scared for how that's going to be at Eurovision.
Hmm.
And I personally think that if they pick My AI, which I love the song in studio version, I listen to it a lot, but I just don't think it will work on the Eurovision stage without autotune and without everything that they can have in MGP.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I personally hope they don't pick it. I just think it's a song that works better in studio version.
hmm
Like you have the songs that work better in studio versions, like that one. We also have songs that come alive on stage, which like Bambi Thugs is an example. Like that song really comes alive on stage. So I hope that they don't pick My AI because I just think it would be a waste for Eurovision because I don't think it will work out.
Yeah, the benefit if you're weak at the semifinal vocally, you can improve. That's good.
Um,
And I kind of agree with you. By the way, I've got like the Irish entry in my head the whole day. It's the worst. It's so insane. I was at the gym working out, listening to the song, and then was like, why am I doing this? Repeat. That was me the whole time. So it's kind of getting addicted, even though I like it and I don't at the same time. It's crazy.
I
It's
was
really
gonna say
insane.
it doesn't sound like a song that you'd love, but
Yeah, I know. But some parts I really like. I love the chorus. It's cool. But then it's going to screamy she. I don't know. And
yeah.
then it kind of like loses me. And then the chorus starts again. I'm like, I kind of like it again. So yeah, it's difficult between the song and myself. Anyway, I think Gatte is one of the favorites, even though I really don't like the song personally, not at all. But I'm probably not the target group. I said it last time already. The staging was very impressive, though. I'm not gonna lie. The vocals were great, and I can see that being hyped in the Eurovision family or like in the community. So I think it would be a popular choice here. Also, like maybe Goth Minister, but I think the hype wasn't that big. I think because
Yeah.
Goth Minister and Gatte are kind of similar in terms of the genre. I think the edge is on Gatte. At
I
least
think
that's my
so.
feeling. Yeah. So we will see. Michael Fox is adding in the comment, like, I think autotune is allowed by backing vocals in the ESC rules, just not the main vocalist.
No,
Mm,
well, the rules are a bit vague. They stated that it's allowed for like artistic purposes,
yeah.
but to what extent is Super Rob's
Yeah.
vocals artistic purposes? Like, I can imagine like a little bit of autotune for artistic purposes, but Super Rob's vocals are literally all autotune, and all he sings is autotune. So I'm a bit conflicted on that one. I don't know,
And yeah,
but
and the act,
even then, Erica Norwich's vocals were really weak with autotune, and if she wouldn't have
yes.
autotune, it would sound a lot worse.
Yeah. Plus the act is officially called Super WAP featuring Erica. So Super WAP
Yeah.
is like the main artist, and you can't
Yeah.
say, well, it's just the backing. No, it's
Exactly.
not. Okay, so that kind of doesn't make any sense. Here, Sunny Not says, do not believe we will choose. So Norwegian, cool. My AI, it will either be Kano or Gatte. I kind of see that happening, like this battle at the end.
I mean, I think it will be. I think it will come down. I don't think there will be a clear winner because I think that the juries will go for someone like Mia, whereas
I
the
did say
televotes will either go for Gorta or Kano, I think, or the juries will even go for Margaret Berger. So I think it will come down who does the best, like in the mean with both.
Yeah.
And I personally think that will be Kano. I think that Kano is going to take it. But I can also see it being Gorta. I wouldn't be surprised at either. I think it's much more of an open year than the previous MGPs. Like the previous MGP, there was Alessandra. Well, there was Alessandra versus Ulrike, but eventually it became very clear that Alessandra was a runaway winner. But this year, I don't think there's anyone that's like they are going to win 100% sure. So it's really open, and I like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think probably one of the most open MGPs we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagine Kano being the runner-up yet again.
I can see that happening as well. But
true. TH is saying, like, to me, it's Goethe against the rest. And Mia is my second. Okay. We are not too sure about it. It's one of the favorites, but it's not over yet.
I personally love Gata, but I would just at certain points her vocals also sounded not great.
Yeah.
They sounded a bit piercing at certain points. What I would just love MGP to do is allow like autotune in the semifinals, but don't allow autotune in the final, so that you do have like a clear picture of what it's going to be at Eurovision. Because sometimes it paints a really distorted picture. We saw it with Alessandra a little bit, not very clearly. I mean, Alessandra could sing; that was very evident. But there was quite a lot of autotune in her MGP performance. And she still sounded great at Eurovision. She did well, but I'm just scared for songs that have a lot of autotune, like My AI, that would not work out at Eurovision.
Yeah. That's why I think they should get rid of this rule, because it's kind of distracting and like pretending someone could sing in a certain way, which in the end they can't. And that's just, I don't know, a bit distracting from everything. When are we going to get a song representing farmers? Not this year. I don't know.
MGP had a song representing farmers a couple of years back, right? I remember that. Yeah. I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
I don't remember
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember just hating it, but I can't remember anything
It was
else.
a choice, and it didn't qualify.
It was called Bli med mig på gården.
Yeah,
I remember now.
that makes
Oh,
sense.
I remember
Get it.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Forbes is asking who's gonna win the jury. I think we kind of covered it already. Like I can see Mia winning it or Kano.
Yeah.
Personally,
I
I
could
don't
see
think
that
it's
too.
gonna
I can also
be.
see
Yeah.
Margaret Berger win the jury, or
Yes.
maybe even Anna Oswald and Anna and Erik. I don't know their surnames, but I wouldn't be too surprised at them winning the jury because it's a very jury friendly song and it really reminds me of the Netherlands 2014.
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to win overall.
Mhm.
I don't think
Yeah.
think they're going to win, but I can see them maybe not win jury, but like be quite high. I can see them be like top 3 with juries.
Fair. So, who do you expect to be like bottom 2 or like last? Any prediction for that?
Let me actually remind myself who is in the final.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Wait.
Okay, so let's.
Let me have a
Maybe
quick
I
look.
can start.
I mean,
Maybe
I think maybe like Ingrid Yasmin with Aya,
I was just about to say that.
because
I don't
well,
think so.
like whilst it's a good song, there's a lot of strong competition in the final that she didn't have in the semi-final, and I think that's going to play against her in the end. And I don't think she's going to do as well as she did in the semi-final.
And the fact
For
that
that
we haven't
reason,
talked
I
about
also
it
think
yet.
I also think
I have an
and
update. I have an update about Luxembourg. Tali, Krik, and Joel are through to the super final.
Huh.
So that's going on right now. Sorry, just needed to tell that. Go on with you. Sorry.
Breaking news. Okay, Jake, go on.
yeah, but yeah.
Okay. I was just
sorry for that.
No, I was just about to say the fact that we haven't talked about Ingrid at all says something.
I mean,
Because we kind of forgot
I
about her.
personally love it. I personally love it, but I can see it being last, but I can also see someone like Anne Princess be last,
Yeah,
as it just might like fade away.
I think so too.
I also thought about Gothminister ending last, but I think that will be too high with the televote to end last because I don't think the juries will appreciate that. But I can see that being quite high with the televote.
Yeah, me
I think
too.
that like the running order is going to be key, as always. But I think in this case even more, considering that only the second half qualified all the time. So if like I don't know how they decide the running order. Is it like
I think producers do it. I think producers do it.
Okay, because like if Götter gets second or third, not too sure about the winning chances, but if it's like Kano and Götter for the last 3 spots, running order spots, then it might be like an open field. So I think that's really crucial here.
I don't think they will place Kano and Götter too close, honestly, because they're two very outstanding songs that have a big shot at winning. So I think either Kano will be in the bottom 3 of the running order, or Götter will be in the bottom 3 of the running order. I think they'll have at least like 3-4 songs between them.
I think one of them is closing. I've got the feeling.
I think so.
Yeah.
But then because Kano closed the semi-final, they're probably not going to close the final.
True, that's true. So I think Götter might close the final, possibly. Who do we think is a good opener?
Kano?
Nah.
Yeah, Kano would be a good opener. I honestly agree. Maybe
Or maybe My AI.
My AI.
Oh yeah, My AI. Yeah,
I think that
I can actually also see. I can actually also see My AI close because that's a quite good closer song as well. But then again, I'm thinking it's a national final of like 9 songs. Does the running order really matter so much? Like,
not
as much as for Eurovision, but it matters, I think.
I think it has an influence, but I don't think it like if you like have a winning song and you perform like in the first half, I don't think it ruins your winning chances. Might make it a little bit more difficult, but I think still everyone can win from any running order spot.
Let's just remember that Bambi won at running order 2.
Yep.
It's possible. Hurricane won back then in 2020, I think. So it's possible. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. I think we covered it all. So let's wrap it up. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Tran. It was a pleasure. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and a subscription, and take a look at our website with news and updates about Eurovision. So then tune in for later, because then we're going to review, like not me, but some of you. I'm going to review the Luxembourgish entry, like the first one after 30 years. So exciting. So yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.